Find out who's up for an Oscar the way the stars do by watching E! Up next, it's the Academy Awards nomination show direct from Hollywood.
Good morning, everyone. It's the wee hours here in Hollywood. Hi, Steve.
Hello, Kathleen. It's been a long time since I've heard them called the wee hours. How are you?
Fine. It's somewhat like Hollywood's version of the Iowa caucuses here. We're at the head of the American Motion Picture Arts and Sciences building in Beverly Hills, and much ado about what, Steve?
About a lot of things. Can you imagine people in Hollywood actually have this date, the 13th, circled in red on their calendars? Tell them why, Kathleen.
It's time for the Academy Award nominations coming up next on E! Well, welcome to the Academy Award nominations. I'm an almost wide-awake Kathleen Sullivan.
And I'm the ever-alert Steve Kometko, but I can tell you personally, Kathleen's waking up fast because one of the most exciting events in entertainment is less than 10 minutes away. In fact, we got the 10-minute signal not long ago. And when Quincy Jones and Academy President Arthur Hiller read the nominations, Kathleen and I are expecting history to be made, aren't we?
Oh, that's right. Unless there's an upset bigger than the AFC winning the Super Bowl, Steve, Emma Thompson will probably be the first woman ever nominated as both Best Actress and Best Screenwriter in the same year.
But what I'm really waiting for is to see if the perky, peppy Holly Hunter we were expecting to be here can be replaced adequately by Quincy Jones. We'll see how energetic he can be this early in the morning.
Well, as you know, this is the morning that defines careers, sets a tone at the box office, and also puts stars really on the spot. We're only minutes away now from the announcement of this year's nominations. So now let's take a quick look at some of the films and performers that battled for our hearts and dollars in 1995. Each year, the Academy Awards define Hollywood. Actors, actresses, producers, directors. This year, whose sense speaks loudest to Hollywood's sensibility? Whose star will Oscar rocket to the top?
Houston, we have a problem.
Will the Academy award portrayals of the darker side in movies such as Seven, Heat, and Dead Men Walking?
You are making it so difficult to help you.
Or will the voters be more moved by a killer performance, an inspiring opus, a real-life astronaut, or a toy one?
Will you fight?
Does Oscar have a brave heart after 68 years? And does he still have an eye for romance?
This poll is talking about my life!
But the definition of Hollywood this year may come from words, the words of a great British novelist, or the words of a talking pig.
I want my mom.
So many people wondering this morning, will Mel Gibson and Nicole Kidman make this the year of the Australian? Will John Travolta pick up his third nomination? Will Babe have a reason to pig out tonight? It will all be revealed in just a matter of minutes when our Academy Award nomination show continues on E!
She was hired to raise two very special children. She was chosen for her innocence and charm. She could never know the surprise awaiting her. Ignorance truly is bliss. Patsy Kensit stars in Turn of the Screw. Saturday, February 17th, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on E!
This portion of E! Entertainment Television is brought to you by Duracell batteries. No battery is stronger, longer.
Ah, the fresh autumn air.
Oh, the total darkness.
Where are those darn flashlights?
Ow!
Still works.
Dependable Duracell batteries. Nothing lasts longer.
We haven't used these since that blackout 2 years ago.
Hey, where's mine.
The Copper Top. No battery is stronger, longer.
Is this your idea of better TV? How about this? Or better yet, this. If you ask me, it's not the TV, but what's on it, like DirecTV. 61 movie channels, 28 music channels, 14 news and information channels, and 12 family channels. All together only on DirecTV. So you can really channel your family's interests. For the DirecTV retailer nearest you, call 1-800-DirecTV.
Because someday you'll get that big promotion that moves you to Seattle. Someday kids will be in the picture. And someday you'll get away to write the great American novel. It'll happen. That's why we've spent 28 years constantly improving the Corolla. So wherever life takes you, we'll be there. The newly restyled Toyota Corolla. We're looking forward to tomorrow.
Virtual reality? $5.
Please.
Feeling like virtual reality
Unguard.
bites? Then why not have the Butterfinger Blast? One bite of that crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery taste explosion will shatter your senses.
Only $10 a ticket, boys and girls.
Have a Butterfinger Blast from Nestle.
Coverage of the Academy Award nominations, and all over this room, Steve, crawling with agents and PR people with cell phones ready in hand to call the expected nominee, hoping their client is one of them.
I've always wondered, do the agents get 10% of an Oscar if their client wins?
They just get little bitty Oscars.
I don't believe you. Joining us this morning is also a man who knows everything about Oscars of all sizes. That's entertainment columnist Charles Fleming. You're a veteran of this. Has any man, woman, child, actor, actress ever won in the same year an Oscar for Best Screenplay or Best Writer and Best Performer?
People have gotten close. Woody Allen was was nominated for Annie Hall for the writing, for directing, and for starring in it. Same for Orson Welles with Citizen Kane. Neither of them won all three. Each of them was a single winner, but with Emma Thompson this year for Sense and Sensibility, it could be the first time for any person.
Do you think she'll probably be nominated? That's almost a given.
It's almost a lock. It's as sure a shoe-in as we have this year in a field of things that has really got no sure thing in it at all.
We have 1 minute to air, I'm told. Can you tell me, has a pig ever won an Oscar? Maybe that's too personal a question.
Yeah, we'd have to go back to Orson Welles again, wouldn't we?
I'm not going to touch that. Here's an easier one. How much money does an Oscar nomination mean for a film? Kathleen?
Oh, that's do you know what the answer is?
No, I don't.
You know what, I was wondering...
It means a lot.
Well, Charles, it's interesting how many actor-directors there have been in the past who've actually won in the director category. I mean, this year we're expecting that maybe Opie and also Meathead will be up for the best director category up against Mel Gibson.
Also known as Ron Howard and Rob Reiner.
Yeah. Well, it may be the actors are the largest single body of people that do the voting for the Oscars, and it may be that since all actors say that one day they really want to direct, that they want to give a prize to someone who's actually managed to do that, whether it's Mel Gibson or Ron Howard or Meathead, as you say.
And they have given it to Kevin Costner in the past.
Clint Eastwood.
Here's Arthur Hiller and Quincy Jones to make the announcements of the nominations. Let's go.
Good morning. I'm Arthur Hiller. I'm president of the Academy, and we're here to unveil our nominees for the 68th Annual Academy Awards. But first, I'd like to introduce my co-announcer this morning, filling in for Holly Hunter, who is ill. He's a composer, a 7-time Oscar nominee, a recipient of the Jean Hersholt Award last year, and the producer of this year's Oscar telecast, Mr. Quincy Jones.
Thank you, Arthur. Good morning, everyone. The 1995 nominees for Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role are James Cromwell in Babe, Ed Harris in Apollo 13, Brad Pitt in 12 Monkeys, Tim Roth and Rob Roy, and Kevin Spacey in The Usual Suspects. Arthur?
Thank you. For Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role, the nominees are Joan Allen in Nixon, Kathleen Quinlan in Apollo 13, Mira Sorvino in Mighty Aphrodite, Mare Winningham in Georgia, and Kate Winslet in Sense and Sensibility.
The 1995 nominees for Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role are Nicolas Cage in Leaving Las Vegas, Richard Dreyfuss in Mr. Holland's Opus, Anthony Hopkins in Nixon, Sean Penn in Dead Man Walking, and Massimo Troisi in The Postman.
For Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role, the nominees are Susan Sarandon in Dead Man Walking, Elizabeth Shue in Leaving Las Vegas, Sharon Stone in Casino, Meryl Streep in The Bridges of Madison County, and Emma Thompson in Sense and Sensibility.
In the category of Best Achievement in Directing, Chris Newman for Babe, Mel Gibson for Braveheart, Tim Robbins for Dead Man Walking, Mike Figgis for Leaving Las Vegas, and Mike Radford for The Postman.
For Best Screenplay written directly for the screen, the nominees are Braveheart, Randall Wallace, Mighty Aphrodite, Woody Allen, Nixon, Stephen J. Revell, Christopher Wilkinson, and Oliver Stone. Toy Story, Joss Whedon, Andrew Stanton, Joel Coen, Alex Sokolow, John Lasseter, Peter Docter, and Joe Ranft, and The Usual Suspects, Christopher McQuarrie.
Screenplay based on material previously produced or published. Apollo 13, William Broyles Jr. and Al Reinert. Babe, George Miller and Chris Noonan. Leaving Las Vegas, Mike Figgis. The Postman, Anna Pavignano, Michael Radford, Furio Scapelli, Giacomo Scapelli, and Massimo Troisi. And Sense and Sensibility, Emma Thompson.
For Best Foreign Language Film, we have All Things Fair from Sweden, Antonia's Line from the Netherlands, Dust of Life from Algeria, O Quattrillo from Brazil, and The Star Maker from Italy.
And finally, I'm pleased to announce that the films selected as the Best Picture nominees of 1995 are Apollo 13, Brian Glazer, producer. Babe, George Miller, Doug Mitchell and Bill Miller, producers. Braveheart, Mel Gibson, Alan Ladd Jr., and Bruce Davey, producers. The Postman, Mario and Vittorio Cecchigori, and Gaetano Daniele, producers. And Sense and Sensibility, Lindsay Duran, producer.
We'll announce the winners on Oscar night, Monday, March 25th. See you then.
Take it out.
Well, some real surprises here this morning. I think a lot of people are surprised at how well Il Postino did. As many of you may know, it was shut out of the foreign competition because it was actually directed by an English director, so it couldn't be submitted by the country of Italy. But that now, an Oscar nominee for Best Picture, as well as that phenomenal performance by its lead actor, and up for a Best Actor nominee. And also surprising is that Leaving Las Vegas actually is not nominated, Steve, in the Best Picture category, and I'm really somewhat surprised, even though Elizabeth Shue and also Nicolas Cage are up for Best Actor nominations as well.
That really is a surprise. Elizabeth Shue, Nicolas Cage, it got a nomination for its screenplay. It's won just about every major critics award.
Brave,
really surprised by that.
Braveheart has done very, very well, leading all of the films with 10 nominations this morning. We're going to tell you more and wrap up some of the surprises in just a moment. Richard Dreyfuss's PR person just ran to the phone to tell him he is nominated. We'll be right back with more on E!
You're waltzing up the red carpet, stars and paparazzi all around. Is it a fantasy? No, it's E! E takes you closer to the live action than you've ever dreamed. You'll have access to the stars at all of Hollywood's main events. See them arrive, who they're with, what they're wearing. Whether it's the Oscars, the Emmys, the Grammys, the Golden Globes, or live movie premieres. Ah! E's right there live with full red carpet coverage and me, Joan Rivers, as your host. Sound like a dream? It is, right here on E!
He's dangerous.
He tried to kill me. I don't know what the big deal is.
He's unpredictable.
You the man. I'm the man.
Now, he's unstoppable.
Ain't it cool?
Broken Arrow, rated R. Now playing.
This is more like it. Soon I'll be far away from anyone who's ever even heard of 10 cents a minute from Sprint.
10 cents a minute?
1 10 dime.
A dime a minute is a wonderful deal.
And it's good forever.
It's as simple as that. Simple as that. Simple as that. To think. After all my work, I'll be remembered as the dime lady. But I'm not going to think about that. That's why I'm taking this little trip to Hawaii.
Call now to get 10 cents a minute across the U.S. and now even to Canada.
So you like blondes? Oh, yeah. I'm a natural blonde. Can't you tell?
E's got a show that's not only reviewing the hottest movies, but reviewing the critics, too. The Movie Critics Show, Sunday, February 18th at 9 Eastern on E!
A friend of mine told...
Where is the best place to find a high-quality, value-priced used car? Key Buick Audi Hyundai. Why? Because we start with hand-picked quality low-mileage cars. Plus, value pricing means every car is clearly marked with the best price first. We offer the area's finest selection of top-quality used cars and trucks, all available with convenient terms. And at Key, we make car buying simple and easy. Best quality, value pricing. That's Key value-priced used cars. Only at Key Buick Audi Hyundai. Conveniently located on Southside Boulevard between the Avenues Mall and Regency.
Jacksonville, I'm here at Buddy Hutchinson Pontiac on Phillips Highway, where, get this, for the next 4 days only, you can lease a brand new Pontiac Grand Am, $99 a month. Cut your payments in half, Jacksonville, till next year and pay just $99 a month. That's under $100 for a Grand Am with automatic transmission, air conditioning, power windows and locks, dual airbags. But you gotta act now. We got 160 for you to choose from. Why? Because at Buddy Hutchinson Pontiac, we always got the largest selection and the lowest price.
You know, Steve, we said at the outset of this broadcast that so much about what would be determined this morning in this room would be the direction that Hollywood would like itself to take. And Charles is with you there, and it's interesting how Hollywood has kind of chosen the lighter side of filmmaking this year. Well, there were some very, very heavy and dark hitters in 7 Usual Suspects, Leaving Las Vegas. The Academy seems to be distancing themselves from that this morning.
Your opinion, Charles. You're the expert.
Well, I mean, I think it may be that the collective conscience of the Academy has sent a message out. This is an election year. This is a year in which Hollywood has been terribly assaulted by the Eastern establishment and by Washington. And it may be that they said, let's pick some movies that really show the better side of Hollywood. Let's show feel-good movies, comedies, movies that make us feel patriotic and feel good about ourselves, and leave the darker movies, like The Usual Suspects, like Leaving Las Vegas, leave those aside in the major categories.
By what are you most stunned? You said after the nominations were announced you were stunned.
Well, I'm very pleased about the nominations for Postino and Babe, but I didn't anticipate them, particularly for Babe. For it to get a director nomination, for it to get as many as it did, I'm surprised. I'm also surprised at the sort of Braveheart sweep, 10 nominations. I thought it was a terrific movie, and I'm pleased for them, but surprised.
Shows what a man in kilt can do for your chances.
Indeed.
But, you know, Charles, as they went that direction, they didn't go as far as to embrace an all-American president. Rob Reiner didn't get a nomination. Michael Douglas Douglas, they didn't go that far into the comedic area.
Well, no, but I think the Academy tends not to. It's a little bit unfair, but the prejudices of the Academy and the voters seems to suggest that comedy is easier to do than drama, and that drama deserves more gravity and more awards when it comes around to the time. I mean, comedies rarely win for Best Picture, and they're often not nominated.
Okay, can we shift gears here for just a second? I'd like to bring the director of this year's show in. Charles, I'm going to steal your mic and introduce to our audience Jeff Margolis.
Hi, Steve.
Emmy award-winning Jeff Margolis.
Thank you.
You won last year for directing the show. How many?
This is my 8th year.
Your 8th year. Okay, you heard the nominations this morning. You were in charge of it, as a matter of fact, the whole rigmarole here. Tell me what your impressions are.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. You know, every year we have an office pool, and...
Oh, you're going to tell me you won?
No, I didn't even enter this year. I couldn't pick them out. I just couldn't pick them out.
Well, and as is witnessed by this morning's revelations, it's a surprising year. What do you do now as director? How do you start planning the show immediately, or do you sit down with Quincy?
Immediately. We go back to the office this morning, and I sit down with Quincy and David, and we start to put the board together. Now we sort of have the beginning of the puzzle, which we've been working on for weeks, and now we can finish it off. We can put all the pieces in. We know the presenters that we can go after now, and we know how we have to deal with each one of the nominees, and so now the fun starts.
Okay, we will not keep you any longer then, since you need to get busy right away.
Right away.
You have a little more than a month to get ready. Thanks, Jeff, for joining us this morning. We'll be right back to review the big winners, mourn for those who were left out, and we're going to hear Kathleen sing all the nominated songs. I've heard her voice. You'll want to be here for that.
He's got a show that's not only reviewing the hottest movies, but reviewing the critics, too.
They can throw Rotten Tomatoes at you, and you say, hey, it's okay.
It's a look at the critics' hidden power, how they affect films, and what they do to the stars.
I don't like the feeling when they criticize me. It makes me cringe.
It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it.
Well, it's like having to tell your grandmother she's got bad breath.
For a review of the latest flicks and the reviewers themselves, catch the Movie Critics Show, Sunday, February 18th at 9 Eastern, only on E!
This portion of E! Entertainment Television is brought to you by Nexus. Feed your head.
Your hair is a living, breathing extension of your physical body. How can you expect it to live through this? Nexus, only in salons.
You never really know when you'll need cash. That's why you need a Discover card. Use your card to get cash during business hours from financial institutions and select merchant locations, or 24 hours a day from thousands of ATMs. The Discover card. Because when you need cash, timing is everything. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
Every month, enter the world of fine interior design. Enter the fascinating world of Architectural Digest. View a pied-à-terre in Paris and an English designer's bright and airy London home. Call now and get 12 issues of Architectural Digest for only $29.95. You'll also receive absolutely free Celebrity Homes Revisited, a tour that includes the homes of Jeffrey Bean, Pavarotti, and Cher.
Call toll-free 800-641-4444. That's 800-641-4444.
You're reading cereal. Congratulations. You're trying applesauce. Congratulations. You're ready to graduate from starter formulas to Carnation follow-up formula. No formula is more nutritious. It's rich in calcium for healthy bones. And it's priced up to 20% less than the leading formulas. So dig in. You've graduated to Carnation follow-up formula. The right formula at the right time. Also available in soy.
Good heavens. Who are you?
I'm a large white.
Yes, that's your breed, dear. What's your name?
I don't know.
Well, what did your mother call you to tell you apart from your brothers and sisters?
Our mom called us all the same.
And what was that, dear?
She called us all babe.
Perhaps we shouldn't talk too much about family.
I want my mom.
There.
7 nominations this morning for Universal's Babe. Apollo 13 also had 9 nominations. Braveheart, 10 nominations, cleaning up is the most. Sense and Sensibility, 7, and Il Postino, 5 nominations, surprisingly. And Steve, let's, if we can, get to Best Costume Design and also Best Original Song for those of you, because they weren't announced earlier this morning. Best Costume Design.
House of Design, Braveheart, Restoration, Sense and Sensibility, Richard III, all of those costume dramas.
Oh, not Wang Fu.
With the exception of 12 Monkeys. No, not Wang Fu. Did not get a nomination.
How about Best Original Song?
Best Original Song, let's see if we can have some help here. Best Original Song from Pocahontas, Dead Man Walking, Don Juan DeMarco, Sabrina, and Toy Story.
You know, they should almost have 2 categories. Best Original Song, Disney. Best Original Song, not Disney.
I think you're absolutely right. You know what's surprising to me, Charles? We were talking, it just dawned on me that John Travolta did not get a nomination, and he was almost, I think, considered a lock.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we thought would happen that did not. I mean, it happens every year, and this year the field was so wide open that there were bound to be some of those. I'm stunned that Don Cheadle didn't get nominated Best Supporting Actor for Devil in a Blue Dress, as well-liked a performance as there was this year. I'm also surprised, I'm not, you don't want to hold it against anybody who did get nominated, but Nicole Kidman, To Die For, I thought was a very logical choice this year, because, again, a terrific performance.
Well, this was one of those years also we were discussing that where the Best Actress category actually had a number of people who could have been nominated, unlike years past when they said there weren't enough women's roles. Right now we're going to go to Kathleen Sullivan, my compadre here this morning, who is with Quincy Jones. Kathleen.
Steve, I have one of the men who actually made the nomination announcements this morning. Is also the show's producer, Quincy Jones. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm happy to hear all the gasps this morning, a lot of surprises, because clearly this year there were no front runners or shoe-ins, as we've seen in the past 2 years anyway.
Does that make it difficult or easier to produce?
It makes it better for me, because for us, there's a lot of tension. Nobody can really predict what's going to happen. The pictures, the performances are not really locked into the pictures, and it's spread all over the place. And so that's very exciting, and I'm happy with I was surprised. Sorry that Waiting to Exhale wasn't nominated, but there's some good choices in it anyway.
Having a little piece of that, huh?
Yeah.
Have you announced all of the presenters so far?
No. Now it's very difficult, because it's complicated if a person's nominated in the category. Now this almost gives us a blueprint of just exactly where to go. But we've got a very tight, pivotal kind of a skeletal outline of what we want to do.
In 3 hours.
We've got some wild stuff.
Q, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Steve?
What we're going to do now is, first of all, thanks Charles Fleming for being with us this morning. This show moves like a rocket. We're almost done. We want to recap the Best Picture nominees before we go. And the 5 pictures nominated as Best of the Year are Apollo 13, Babe, Il Postino, Braveheart, and Sense and Sensibility. Some surprises in there. And we'll have to see who does what on March 25th, right, Kathleen?
That's right, Steve. Charles, thanks so much for joining us this morning as well. The nominations are now in, and the fun somewhat begins. Keep your set tuned to E for nominee reaction and coverage of the 68th Annual Academy Awards. And we continue this coverage on March 8th with invitation to the Academy Awards. The awards ceremony will be presented, as you know, on ABC, produced by Quincy, at 9 o'clock Eastern on Monday, March 25th. And Joan Rivers will be hosting E's live pre-show. And Steve and I will also be at the red carpet at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion in L.A., bringing you a special edition of E! News Daily, but it's going to be nightly, probably all night, Steve. Isn't that about right?
Yes, certainly it is all night. I've been there, done that.
That's
and
right.
We'll go there and do it again.
I'm looking forward to that. And
Me too.
Thanks all of you for watching us this morning. For Steve Kameko, I'm Kathleen Sullivan, and we leave you now with this Oscar-nominated song.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? How high does the sycamore grow? If you cut it down, then you'll never know. 'cause you'll